Hello friends, welcome to my channel Economica. I Dr. Gopal B. Saraswat welcome you all. Today, much awaited Union Budget announced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. This budget is very important because it is coming at the time when India is celebrating 75th year of its independence. And as in the budget speech, the FM mentioned that this budget is a stepping stone towards India 100. That means when we become 100, we are going to celebrate 100th year of our independence. So this is a roadmap for next 25 years. So let's go with the highlights and check out what was the main announcement of budget 22-23. The first highlight is the capital expenditure. The finance minister announced the maximum capital expenditure growth for financial year 22-23, and that is 35.4%. In terms of numbers, this is from the last year from 5.54 lakh crore rupees. Now the government is expected to have a capital expenditure of 7.5 lakh crore. So this is a huge amount of capital expenditure the government is expecting. This indicates that this budget is for capital expenditure and creating infrastructure for the general public. The major announcement or the major highlight from the budget is the GST collection from the month of January. The government announced in parliament that this January, the total GST collection is 1.40 lakh crore rupees. This is the highest ever GST collection since the introduction of GST reforms. So this means that at the revenue part or revenue earning part, the government is doing great in the terms of collection of taxes. The third major highlight, and this is very important for those are investing in the virtual currency or digital currencies. Here I want to mention that the government refrain it from mentioning a bitcoin or any digital asset as a currency. FM clearly mentioned these are the digital assets. So if you are holding and you are earning gains from your digital assets. So these virtual assets will be taxable at the rate of 30%. Moreover, any kind of loss from the virtual assets cannot be set off against any other incomes. This means that if you have had a loss from your digital assets, that loss you cannot set off against any income you earn from any other non-digital or digital property. So this is clearly indication that the government is looking to regularize the digital assets. This time the government come up with a digital currency. Means the RBI will launch by the end of this financial year a digital currency which is rupee. This means that government is fully uh, open for launching a digital currency on its own. And this is a very great news for India because earlier there was a very hue and cry that what the government is going to do with the Bitcoin and other digital currencies. But now government is clearly said that we are going to have our own digital currency because this digital currency will bring down the cost of printing, cost of logistic of a currency, and that is a very great news. The fifth highlight from this budget is the 5G spectrum. The finance minister mentioned that within the same financial year 22, the government will auction the 5G spectrum and will make sure the private players will launch the 5G in India. And this is great news, especially from the point of view of creating infrastructure and jobs in the market. The sixth highlight of this budget is the much awaited LIC, Life Insurance Corporation IPO. The government said within the financial year 22, the LIC IPO will be launched. So, the disinvestment plan of the Indian government will continue in this year also. The seventh highlight is the Vande Bharat trains. Government is expected to launch around 400 new Vande Bharat trains across India in next 3 years. So this means that government is looking to upgrade the existing lines, as well as the government is looking to provide you the better connectivity through Vande Bharat. The next highlight is the LTCG, long term capital gain tax. Most of the experts asked government to reduce or to waive off LTCG. LTCG tax is when you hold a property or asset and you earn a capital gain after a year. That gain is known as long term gain. And if your gain is more than 5 crore rupees, you are liable to pay a tax along with a surcharge. Generally, the surcharge goes uh, more than 30%. But this time government had made a ceiling on that, and that ceiling is 15%. This means that this is the good news for those HNIs or the investors, those made a huge gain from the market and they were burdened earlier because of the high LTCG surcharge. So this is a great news for the investors. Ninth highlight is the infrastructure boost. Any kind of investment or the infrastructure creation in EVs, electric vehicles, will be considered as green infrastructure now. So this means that the government is fully open for creating electric infrastructure in India, and the government is in a position to promote such infrastructure. And finally, the 10th highlight is that is a very much awaited by the especially the middle class of India, that they were expecting a direct tax relief, but due to COVID and due to the capital expenditure the government has proposed, there is no direct tax relief for now for middle class. So the tax or the direct tax system will remain the same. Some of the economists here mentioned that the government is planning and moving towards a stable tax regime where government gradually bring down the rebates generally you are going to expect from the direct taxes. So this means that when you invest, you are not going to get a rebate against that investment in future. But for now, the last year direct tax provisions will remain the same and your tax burden will remain the same. There is no change against it. I hope you like my video. Thanks for watching.